I'd call the member for Petrie.
Well, thanks, Mr Deputy Speaker. We've seen over the last 12 months some really positive results in the Australian economy. We've seen job creation soar to over 370,000 new jobs in the last 12 months, with over 300,000 of those full-time. We've seen the unemployment rate fall, not just nationally but also in my electorate. And in the last 4 years since the coalition came in, we've seen the youth unemployment rate come down considerably in Petrie on the back of projects like PATH. We've also seen rents fall in some areas, particularly in Brisbane a little bit, which has helped some people, but housing prices have remained stagnant or gone up a little bit. They've remained very stable. Goals are being achieved by local people and local community groups, and I thank the RDA and others in the community that are working hard. But, Mr Deputy Speaker, the Shadow Treasurer comes in here and talks about inclusive growth. But the problem is his policies and the policy of those opposite are actually making the gap larger. Right. And when I look at their policies around higher taxes, and if you look at their policy around making existing homes only available to be positively geared because they want to get rid of negatively geared, when you only allow positive gearing, the people that rent, that can only ever afford to rent, means that their rents will go up. Because naturally, owners need to make sure, if they cannot negatively gear, that rents are higher than interest repayments. And some people out there may remember when interest rates were 17% under Labor. Now, right now, they're quite low, and there'd be very, very few investors that are actually negatively gearing compared to when interest rates are high. But when interest rates are very high and when they go up in the future and you cannot negatively gear, it means rents will increase. Labor also want to push up not just rent but the cost of the electricity bill. We know that the Climate Change Authority said their policy will increase prices by $200 and ours will decrease prices by over $100. That's a $300 difference between the Liberal National Party's policy and Labor's policy. They want to punish family-owned business trusts, those business trusts that employ local people. They just basically believe we've got to tax them more. They must be ripping people off. But when you tax investment, there's less jobs. And we know that the coalition has a record, since we went to the last election with jobs and growth, a proven record of delivering. They also want to tax people half of what they earn. So if you've got any incentive to earn $300,000, they want to take half of it. They want to take half of it, Mr Deputy Speaker. We know that people who are earning $37,000 a year pay $3,572 tax, $3,500 in tax. But if you earn $52,000, you pay $8,400. If you earn $79,000, around the average in Australia, I think the average is 81, you pay $17,222. If you earn $300,000, if you are really earning more than the average, $300,000, you pay $108,232 in tax. And if you're Lisa Wilkinson, who just left Channel 9 and now works for Channel 10 and landed a contract for $2.3 million, she'll pay $1,008,232. So Labor's solution to growing inequality is to make the woman that's just landed the $2.3 million contract, who currently pays over $1 million in tax, she must pay more. That's why we're in this situation, according to Labor. What they should be focusing on is not the top earners or the middle-income earners, but encouraging everyone to do better, not voting against policy things like the Super Savers Scheme. So the members opposite, they voted against a $6,000 tax cut that we introduced into the parliament last week to help first homeowners save more of their own money for a deposit on their own house. Now, Labor's policies are all wrong. They're all wrong. And the inclusive growth that they're talking about is actually exacerbated under Labor. It's actually the rich and poor are getting wider apart, because if you tax Lisa Wilkinson an extra 2%, she's still going to be earning a lot of money, right? Focus on the bottom end. Look at the 0 to 18,200 that currently pay no tax, and each year maybe link that to CPI. So make sure that that 18.2 goes up. It'll help everyone on the tax scale, but those on the lower end, and you'll see a bigger gap between the minimum wage in what they take home and what they currently get in welfare. This party believes in lower taxes, lower spending, and that's the only way to equality for all.
The time for discussion has concluded.